At the time of this recording, the Phoenix Suns are down 3-0 against the Minnesota Timberwolves with no signs of coming back, and no team has ever came back from a 3-0 deficit anyway, so it doesn't look like it's going to happen. Now, with that being said, I think it's about time we start having a discussion about Kevin Durant being just a little bit overrated. Now, is KD one of the greatest scorers in NBA history? Yes, of course. Is KD unstoppable? Yeah, he's a 7-foot tall shooting guard that can dribble and shoot over anybody. He's very much unstoppable. But what does that mean when you're talking about being great or one of the greatest? KD has one MVP, a well-deserved MVP. He has a bunch of scoring titles. I think he has like at least 2 or 3, and he has 2 championships and 2 Finals MVPs. But those 2 championships that he has asterisks next to him, because although he was the best player on both of those teams that won those championships, he hopped on not just the greatest team of that time period, but one of the greatest teams in NBA history, period, to win a championship after he choked against that same team the year prior to him jumping ship and going to that team to build a super team and win a couple titles. And those Golden State teams arguably could have won at least one of those, possibly both of those championships without him. So, realistically speaking, he just hopped on the bandwagon and bought himself 2 titles. And before then, he was in OKC. He left OKC in shambles, even though Russ tried to hold it together, but he left OKC in shambles, which they didn't do a whole lot for him. They got rid of Harden and all that stuff, so that's a little bit understandable. Him leaving the team, not going to Golden State, but leaving OKC makes sense. But since Golden State, he's just been leaving teams in shambles, like my Brooklyn Nets, unfortunately, and now it seems that he's going to leave the Phoenix Suns in shambles. Now he has a contract, so he's going to be on the team for a while, and maybe they could turn it around, but what excuse does he have for underachieving here? He has Bradley Beal, he has Devin Booker, they have Bol, who they don't let play for some reason, and they have Yusuf Nurkic, who isn't like an all-star or anything like that, but he's a very solid starter in the NBA, and he has been for years. Does he have a little foul trouble, and does he get injured sometimes? Yeah, but he hasn't been injured this season. KD has no excuse to be potentially swept in the first round. Now, don't get me wrong. Minnesota has been playing amazing. They have overachieved and went way past my expectations. I didn't even think they was going to make the playoffs this year. Or at least, I thought they was going to at least be a playing team, but they're one of the top teams in the West. And I think that's because Cat and Anthony Edwards figured out their dynamic. So I'm not taking away nothing from Minnesota. But what has KD really done besides be an elite scorer, which is great? But if that's the case, he's just a Carmelo Anthony or a Tracy McGrady with an MVP, if we're being completely honest. But I am a KD hater, so you could take my opinion with a grain of salt if you want, but I do think I made some valid points in this video. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Do you think KD is a little bit overrated? Do you think he's rated properly? What do you think about Phoenix being down 3-0? Let me know, did they lose the series by now? Let me know in the comments down below. Make sure you like, make sure you comment, and most of all, I love you guys. Peace out.